Welcome back to Quantum Vimana's Time Travel Episode 4. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, do watch them for better clarity on this topic. Your support is highly essential to our growth. So like, share and comment on our videos. In the meantime, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell so that you won't miss any of our videos. Previously on Quantum Vimana, we saw the two general types of time travelers. The first kind belongs to the proven type. Astronauts age more slowly in space due to time dilation. The second type, the doubted people, are those who lack evidence to prove they are from the future. If they do exist, there may be reasons to why they don't want to reveal their identity. Something that makes time travel and travelers a lot more complicated. Quantum Vimana presents Paradoxes are basically problems that correspond to theories which form a conflict as a whole. In this case, a temporal paradox highlights how messed up things can get if time travel is ever possible and we managed to travel across timeline. Although we have many types of temporal paradox, we are going to see only the main ones. Causal loop paradox is one of the most complicated ideas we can find about time travel. We imagine time as a loop in this case, as all the events in the timeline are interconnected among each other. To understand this better, we have to abandon the idea that the timeline we are living in is a straight line of events. Technically, the events of the past caused the future events, and future is what caused the past. For example, if a person dies due to cancer, the reason he had cancer was actually because he had to die later in his life. So, generally, this paradox speaks on the idea that our life is fixed. No matter what we do, we can't change what has happened or is going to happen. Here comes the famous one, grandfather paradox. The narration comes in simple. A man travels back in time to kill his grandfather before meeting his grandmother. When he succeeds, it means that his father or mother was never born. If this is true, the killer is ceased to exist and was never born. Then this means the grandfather should be alive now. Oops, complicated, right? Is there a missing piece? Or is it something that can never be solved? This is exactly why we call it a paradox. There is another variant of this paradox, widely known as "let's kill Hitler" paradox. Let's say someone from our current timeline time travels to the time of Adolf Hitler and murders him for good. Countless lives can be saved. But then the war is forgotten and no one will have to pass it down in the name of history. This is where things get complicated. You see, if Hitler is no more by right, you would have had no reason to eliminate him, and the idea of time traveling to kill him would never be around too. Again, we are stuck at the same sort of complication which can neither be explained nor excused from our thoughts. This paradox hypothetically intersects with the multiverse theory. Parallel universes are coexisting universes that are unable to be seen because of different frequencies they vibrate at. Taking the example of a man killing his grandfather, events of the timeline are no longer in a loop. Now, we come back to the straight line of events again. When the grandfather dies in the hands of his grandson, a new branch of reality is created. In this new reality, the man still exists, but he has no bloodline. This means that he is alive in a timeline that he created, but the one that he originated from was never destroyed. In a chronological perception, the man who departed to kill his grandfather never returns to his original timeline in the original reality. But in the new reality, which is happening in a parallel universe, the grandson enters a timeline in which his grandfather is not alive, but no one knows how he came to be there at all. In 1954, a man arrived at Tokyo airport holding a passport issued by a country named Tauret, which did not exist. He said he had visa of all countries and his country was 1,000 years old. After police locked him in a highly secured room, the man vanished mysteriously. Maybe this paradox is not a paradox at all. What if it is true that bubble universes do exist? Then we will have a whole new branch of physics to study. Let us know what you think about the existence of multiverse in the comment section below. Recently, a student from University of Queensland claimed that he has proven that time travel is possible mathematically. According to him, he squared the entire calculation. Although we can't understand this mathematical approach, it said that the paradoxes of time travel are solved as a whole. Theoretically, this attempt suggests that whatever the changes caused in our timeline, the ultimate outcome will always be the same. It's believed that the universe will rearrange the events so that the fixed events are not affected. This works well with the predestination paradox, which states that actions of a person traveling back in time becomes part of the past and may ultimately cause the event he is trying to prevent. For instance, if we travel back to the time and place when the first COVID-19 victim was going to be infected and prevented that from happening, the person you saved will be safe. However, there will be no change in the situation of pandemic when you return back to your time. Instead of someone else being the first to be infected with the virus, you yourself may have become the one destined to spread the deadly virus. Here, the destiny of people is changed, but not the destination. So far, this is how the paradoxes and so-called solutions are explained theoretically. So, if we can't change the past as we want, what use is time travel? Changing the past to make our lives better is not the only motive we dream of time travel. Looking into the future is also a very important feature of time travel. We don't have to change the future because our actions today are the ones that caused them in the first place. Simply by knowing the dangers of the future, we can actually prepare ourselves to face them. Say, we will face a natural disaster like volcano eruption in the future. We will have plenty of time to alert possible victims and relocate them for good. So time travel can never be argued futile. Assuming that time travel is free of its paradox, how can we time travel? We can't simply get in a car and jump between points in time. We have to approach time travel through physics and mathematics. We have many theories to keep in mind when thinking of a way to time travel. We have been given the delight of imagining it, understanding its effects. We have also been reminded to expect the unexpected. Now, all we have to do is joining the dots of facts about time travel to have a clear vision to it. We have to come up with something long before a real time machine is built.